What's going on, guys? So today's video, I wanted to kind of briefly chat a little bit about some hopefully new Rebel and Empire characters that we might be seeing here in a little bit. So yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago, because it's May the 5th for me, this will be live on, I think, Wednesday. But May the 4th we just had, and we got some pretty nice rewards. A lot of the content that or the content, if you want to call it content. A lot of the rewards that we got, I guess you could say, a lot of them was themed around the Empire Strikes Back, and hopefully, some new original and trilogy content coming on the line. We just kind of got off of a GAC that had a lot to do with like trench runners, some ships, stuff like that, Empire Rebel stuff, and this is like the portrait we got which was Princess Leia. So I'm gonna base this all around this whole video, kind of around what I would like to see out of either new reworks for these current characters that we already have, or future potential ones we would like to see. Personally, I don't know if we're gonna get too much here. I think that's gonna be a lot to ask for. But what we might be getting is some Mandalorian content that can kind of hit up on some of the Empire and the Rebels. Hopefully we get some reworks, but I honestly don't see us getting a whole lot of whole new characters coming on the line that are all Empire and Rebels focused. I just can't see it just yet. But I do think that since we just kind of came off of the Galactic Legend for Rey and Kylo, they're probably going to hit us hard with either a little bit more, small legendary type of events coming, or something bigger for next year, which can be a new Galactic Legend, which in my opinion, is going to be a Luke for the Rebels, or for the Empire, maybe like some Vader or something like that. But we'll have to see. But I'm going to talk now a little bit about what the Empire kind of needs, and we'll go into the Rebels later. Well, let's just chat about like what they have already. They already have a lot of extra capabilities of stunning, getting a lot more turn meter, and they can do some big damage with Vader being here. But their main thing here is that they really are good at controlling the field, I guess you could say, with their TM mechanics. So what I would personally like to see here is, we already have EP. He's a great support. He can get a lot more stuns, a lot more TM for you, and more debuffs, which is great. And also, you got Thrawn here, another support that can fracture, which is a great ability and debuff in the game. I did a video recently just all about Thrawn and how good he is still. I love Thrawn. He has a lot of capabilities here with stopping enemies, kind of just like EP in the sense of he can be more controlled with who's attacking and stuff like that. And then you have Vader here. He's an attacker. He's one of the few attackers we already have for the faction. He can do some big damage, but this guy's very outdated with the state of the game that is currently. And I think that if we were to get anything, hopefully with the reworks, I really would hope that he gets another rework. I know that him and Palpatine got a rework maybe 1 or 2 years ago, with, getting this new unique, and EP got a couple more things too. It was a pretty great one. I just think that we need a new one if we want to kind of get more stuff centered around these kind of factions and this era of Star Wars. So he's a great one. And then you have some other guys here, Death Trooper, TIE Fighter. Everybody else from there on out, I would say outside of the big three for Emperor Palpatine, Thrawn, and Vader, what we're seeing here is a lot of kind of average to really mediocre, or heck, to even garbage characters here. I would consider Grand Moff Tarkin to be one of those garbage characters outside of his ship, even though that's pretty bad as well. And then Royal Guard is pretty bad as well. Magma's kind of bad. Stormtrooper is bad. Gar Saxon. Director Krennic can be okay, but there's just too much resources put in. I'm going to call him bad. And then the Commando guy here is pretty bad. But everybody outside of that, like a lot of the troopers, Imperial troopers, they're pretty good. But I think we still need some more of those guys if we want to kind of up them up a little bit. What I'm kind of referring this to is we just got the Mandalorian, right? With Mandalorian, Grief Karga, and Cara Dune. So Grief Karga and Grief Karga and the Mando really are the two big ones that we just kind of had, and those two alone just single-handedly bolstered up the entire Bounty Hunters and Scoundrel faction immensely, to the point where they can now beat Darth Revan's, JKRs, and even Padme's. So what I'm really hoping and being hopeful here and optimistic about here with the Empire, at least, is getting some people kind of like the Mandalorian, kind of like Grief Karga, where they bring something totally different to the faction itself, but also can bolster it up and make it kind of turn into a type of a different type of team, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, we have the Terminator mechanics here and the stuns and the debuffs and all that stuff, but what if we have somebody else that can do something else? I don't know, maybe like another taunt, maybe some more DPS here. I mean, we were just seeing it right here. We have a lot of support characters, and Darth Vader, outside of, the troopers, he's really the only other attacker here that can do some big damage. What if we get some more people, maybe like an Inquisitor, maybe somebody else, maybe some other Empire, I don't know, somebody else that can do some big damage here on top of Vader, something with some more debuffs. I mean, that's kind of how the whole faction is revolving around, is their debuffs, their control. What if another person kind of like Vader can step into the game here and he can do some big damage as well, make him really scary. And on top of that, outside of attackers, I think we still need some more tanks. Royal Guard's not cutting it anymore. Short Trooper's not really cutting it anymore. We don't really have any other tanks here. So I would love to see some sort of tank here. I don't really think, though, that we're going to get too many, support characters if they were to do anything. And if they were to do anything with supports, they're probably going to be reworking the old supports, I can see. I just think from how iconic these Empire characters are with Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, and they're not touching them, or they can't, rework them or anything in that sense in like the next little bit. I think that's kind of crazy. I think that these guys are well overdue for another rework of some sort in any case, especially now with the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it would be a great time to do anything with the Empire content. And if they wanted to, I mean, do something like a rework. I mean, simple as that. It really could be just a rework, make them a little bit stronger, maybe can counter a little bit more teams, that they used to be able to counter. And heck, I mean, if they wanted to go to the lengths of adding new characters, in my opinion, I would love to see a little bit more trooper depth with maybe couple trooper teams, and also maybe some more guys to the Emperor Palpatine team, maybe some reworks to Royal Guard. Stuff like that I think is really necessary in this time with the Empire faction. It's a really good faction. I think the whole idea of the faction is really going to be great. I just think it's missing a whole lot, though, to really make them any worth anymore. I mean, for me, they're still worth it, but down the line, it's going to get to a point where, you're not going to get a whole lot of use out of your Vader, out of your Palpatine for the most part, except for some teams that I still counter with. But Vader, for sure, in my opinion, is really useless in most of my aspects of how I play, especially in GAC and TW. But that's the Empire. I think it's a great faction still. I just think we're needing some more content surrounding them, some more reworks, whatever it may be. Please, please, please. I'm not even a huge Empire fan. I just think that it's going to be, super necessary to have some more Empire stuff. That's that. But the next down here on the line is the Rebels. The Rebels, they're a lot better than the Empire, plain and simply like that. I mean, you already have one solid team. This team here, the CLS team, can beat a lot more teams than the Emperor Palpatine team can. And it can beat them really well in high banners as well. Everything about this team is really great. I mean, you have Commander Luke here. He's an attacker. Or is he an attacker? Yeah, he's an attacker. I thought he was a support for some reason. No, he's an attacker. Chewbacca, yet again, is another attacker. You come over here to Han Solo. Well, guess what? He's an attacker. You have now 3 main damage dealers, but within their kits, you have somebody who can stun them. 2 people, 3 people. All of those guys can stun people. Han can on his special. CLS can on his basic. And Chewie can on his other special. You have 3 people who can stun there. You have somebody who can reduce TM on actually 2 people for Han and CLS. TMR, stuns, big damage, DPS. I mean, that's like the holy trinity of the Rebels right there. But if we were to get anything else, I mean, I know we have R2-D2 and C-3PO here. They're great additions. I think they're amazing characters, not just inside of the Rebel faction, but outside of it, in the Resistance, the Republic, the Galactic Republic, the droids, and the Resistance. They're great outside, not just in the Rebels. I do think they're really great in the Rebels, though, but perhaps we get some more guys here that can kind of fit their kind of how they kind of function in a sense, and making sure that the 3PO and R2 can be used a lot more variations and variety in GAC type of formats and game modes. That way you can open yourself up to another team here, which would be great. So when I'm thinking about that for the first part of this is the reworks. I don't know what the reworks could entail here, because there's a lot of different people that I would say are kind of iconic here in the Rebels. I mean, Old Ben's a great one. He isn't amazingly great in the sense of like how he kind of functions with both the Jedi and the Rebels, but he getting the job done. That's like what the point is. But he's not over the top like, oh my gosh, this guy's crazy, like the CLS, like the Chewie or the Han Solo, but he still gets the job done. I would say the same thing for kind of Han, Stormtrooper Han. They're great tanks. I still think we need some more tanks. I mean, we just got the addition of Cara Dune, which is a great one that has another tank built in. But I still think we need some more. Maybe some more tanks. Maybe another support here. And then we got Princess Leia, and Princess Leia we just had as the whole portrait for May the 4th. And with the whole, like I'm saying it again, the Empire Strikes Back anniversary, the 40th year anniversary. I mean, I just don't know why they wouldn't revisit these characters in this time in Star Wars. I think it's like a huge missed opportunity here. I know we're getting the Mandalorian content, but what if we get some more Mandalorian content soon, and then they can kind of work on some reworks for like starters, and then if they wanted to, bring out some more characters for both of the factions. In my opinion, that's probably the best thing they can do here. And if they're going to hold off on a new ship raid or whatever it may be, do that next year, but give us some more Rebels and Empire content to kind of hype us up for that. People don't like ships a whole lot, and I think this would be great kind of leeway into that, because it's a huge beloved era of Star Wars in my opinion. I love the original trilogy a lot more than the prequels, or than the sequels. The prequels are lit, but for like Leia's an attacker. She can do some big damage, but how she functions in the team with CLS is so bad. I ideally would like a whole nother team with like perhaps Princess Leia and like Lando. You know, some of these other guys that can bring a huge, you know, punch, I guess you could say, and some more capabilities of stunning, and like kind of like what the main trio can with CLS, Han, and Chewie. I just think that we should, in the Empire and the Rebels, we should minimum have 2 teams that can do some good work, but making the priority of the one strong team to be, you know, beating a lot more teams out there. But the second team can still get the job done. Kind of think of it like, I don't know, like you can say Padme and the Galactic Republic. Like you have the main one being Gas. Gas can beat a lot of different teams, but then you have the Padme team, who can still beat a lot, but I still would say Gas can beat a little bit more in the essence of like the GLs and stuff like that. So kind of like that, I'm thinking maybe we get like one strong team with the Rebels and the Empire, but another kind of soft team that can still get the job done really well. But like in the time right now, I still think we don't have that second team. We have like one okay team for like the Rebels, not even for the Empire. Empire's kind of bad, but we just need some more. I think for both teams, we need a little bit more tanks. We need some more supports. I mean, heck, for the Rebels, we have like 4 or 5 DPS that are really good, with 3 being really good with Han, Chewie, CLS, and then like you know, other guys, you know, like Lando, he could be okay if they were to rework him. Same with Princess Leia. We just need some more guys here, and I think that if we can get some more here soon, hype us up a little bit for some more content coming in the line. I know we're going to get Moff Gideon and some of those other guys for like the Mandalorian content. I don't know how that's going to kind of work though, with them all being Empire and stuff like that. It could be, you know, what we're asking for here, what I'm asking for here, but it could not be. I don't know whether they're going to go down the path there. They could be like a whole Cara Dune here with being, you know, Rebel and Scoundrel, which would be crazy and awesome for the Empire, you know, being Empire and whatever else they want to be there. Like Empire and Scoundrel, I guess you could be, I don't know, anything, you know, anything at this point. I just would like, I'm really bored and tired of seeing, you know, these GLs. I don't want to work on my next GL. You know, people out there going for these GLs, there's already counters to them. I just did a video recently about 2u5ing a Kylo. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. Honestly, guys, if I were in your guys' shoes and you didn't have a GL, just have fun, you know, work on like your Gas, you know, once you get Gas, you can chill out for a little bit, you can work on some other fun stuff here, because Gas and the JKR team, and even Darth Revan team, can beat both GLs without really any issues. I just don't really know why they aren't touching up Empire and Rebels. That's the whole main focus of this video. If you guys, though, have any ideas of what they should do for the Empire and the Rebels, what characters, you know, what reworks we should get here soon, you guys let me know down below in the comment section. I think that we should get, for, you know, between the two, a lot more for the Empire than for the Rebels, although I think both need a lot right now. I just think that we're way overdue for some content here. I mean, thinking about it, I think our last touch-up we even had for these characters was like for the reworks of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, and that was that. And that was a long time ago. And these are one of the 2 biggest factions when it's coming over and talking about Star Wars itself. And we're like not even talking about some huge teams here. They're kind of mediocre for the most part, except for CLS. So that's that, guys. If you have any other, you know, comments, questions, or whatever, leave them down below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, because I'm kind of interested myself. I know we're probably not going to get ship raid, because they already said that. They confirmed it. We're still waiting and trying to get some confirmation of what the next kind of mode is that they're going to bring to us. They said it's going to be something big and what we've been wanting. We'll have to see, but that's today's video. Empire, Rebel content, what we're looking for here, what we want. For me at least, maybe for you guys, like I said, leave them down below in the comments. Again, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it around, and if you guys are new here to the channel, feel free to subscribe. We're pretty close to hitting that 10K sub goal, which I would love to hit. If you guys could support me there, feel free to. We have a Discord, we have a Patreon. You can see it right above my face right here, and also it's all down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. That's going to do it for me today, though. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you guys all later. Peace out.